Hey guys, Terry here. It's a beautiful sunny day in Ohio, and we're starting to have not quite as hot days. The fabric that I've been selling has been going pretty quickly, so I'm happy with that. Boxes are disappearing. Gotta love that. I'll put a link to this site where I've got the fabric for sale. This is from my mother-in-law's stash. And went to IKEA yesterday. I bought another Rascog. I need to assemble it. But I think I could have my sewing Rascog here, my card making one here, and then I think I can fit one more back here if I move the trash can. I love that they're on wheels and they hold so much. They're just so nice and sturdy. And they've come down in price since there's other companies making knockoffs. So they're only $30. And this color is kind of a gray-blue one. So can't wait to set that up. But the video I want to make today is about mosaics. I've gotten some questions, and I want to show you some pages I recently did and how I use the mosaic cutting system. So let's get started. Oh, I wanted to show you these too. Look at these little guys. This is from IKEA, and I think they are the cutest. They're glass, and they're just the cutest little cactuses, so I'm going to have them sitting by my plants. I think they are so cute. Here's the third one. I think they were $15. I thought they were so cute, so I think that would be cute on any display. So I thought those were adorable. I had to get those. So here's mosaics. So here is a page that I recently got done. It was one of our trips to San Diego. What I love about mosaics is you can fit so many pictures on a page. So if you take your pictures and have them printed into 4x6s or even smaller, you can crop your photos down to fit on their grid system. So here's one of their pieces of paper. So their idea is to have all these grids on a 12x12 piece of paper, and then you can cut your photos to fit into the squares. And then what I like to do is just sprinkle a little bit of printed paper on there. So I think I'm going to cut something out on my Cricut here to say San Diego. Here's another one I did. I love this blue paper. So again, just a little strip of paper, and then I kind of told the story in my photos. This was the San Diego Zoo. This was going to the beach and downtown San Diego. We stayed at the Lawrence Welk Resort in Escondido. And notice I used the red paper, and then I just used a little bit of vacation paper that had some red on it. So it didn't take much paper to sprinkle a little bit of color on the page. And then I was able to crop these photos. Notice how many photos I got here on the, just showing the stuff about the... So I think the grid system helps the pictures look a little bit more interesting. I don't know, I just will always like the look of it. I think I could do mosaics in all of my pages. So let me show you how I cut the those different sized photos. So they have dies. Get these all out here. They've got dies that you can put through your Big Shot or your cutting machine. So this one will cut a 4x6 photo into a whole bunch of squares. Love how that one works. This one will do the corners. They've got fun ones that make a curve, and you can imagine this all over your page. I'll link to their website. This one does 2x2 squares. And then what happens is you break your photo up and you just have a little bit of a grid in between all your pictures. Just a way to make your picture more interesting. And then they've got every size square, and rectangle. So they've got them in different sets. And I think they bundle these original sets. So for example, if you had a small enough photo, there's a 3" by 1", or I should say 3 squares, because there's 1/8 of an inch between each square. So this is 3 1/4. And I just drew with a marker on there so that I put them back where they belong. But it's got various different sets. So I won't bore you with all those. I'll link to their website with all the different dies. I keep my dies in this Card Keeper book, and I'll have a link to that for sale. I'll mention too that they have a variety of colors, and they probably have even more than this now, but I have just a whole variety of colors, and then I just keep those in a 12 by 12 paper holder, and then I take those pages on my crop. But when I go on a crop, I don't want to have to take all those heavy dies. So here's what I've done to my cutter. So knowing that the squares are, they are 1" squares, and then there's 1/8 of an inch between them. So when you go to cut them, what I've done is on my cutter here, I've marked, you can cut it at 1", or 2 1/8, or 3 1/4, or 4 3/8. So I just took a little, this was a white gel pen, and I put the dots on there so that when I've got my photo on here, I can cut something. Just place it along the line, and then that's where I chop it off at. So most of my pictures I'm cutting no bigger than 4 3/8. But if I do need to cut bigger, we can continue that on my tonic guillotine here. So I've put the dots on here too. The next one is 5 1/2. So that's really the farthest that you'll go with a photograph. And then for those pieces that were all the way across the page, for example, these pieces here, I just marked it with a pencil where I wanted to. So I got my photos placed, and then I just marked a tick mark with the pencil to know what size to make that one. Same with the one that I had running all the way across the page. But that's, yeah, I like marking it on here. The dies are nice because the die, you can just, position it on your 4x6 and decide what you want in the picture. But I can just take my photo and place it on here and kind of see what I'm cropping on the picture. So just a suggestion for the mosaics. I do love the mosaics. When they've got their paper on sale, the cost of this sheet with the lines printed on it is about the cost of what you'd pay for, a piece of cardstock. So I like to watch for their sales and get their stuff that way. The other thing that I'll tell you, I have scanned it with my brother's Scan and Cut. And what I tell people is, it is copyrighted. So you cannot draw this with your brother's Scan and Cut. In other words, buy one of their pieces of paper, scan it, and then you've got the shape. You can then draw it using a pen on your brother's Scan and Cut and draw it out. But what I use this for is I draw on the back side of this. So when I slip it down into a page, a 12 by 12 page protector in a scrapbook, then I can do mosaic on this side and mosaic on this side. So I'll just repeat again. It is copyrighted, but I have used my brother's Scan and Cut to draw these on the back of their paper. So, I'm all about giving credit where credit is due and buying the product from the manufacturer who invented it. So I'll have links to everything on my website, and hopefully that shows you how I use my little cutter when I don't want to carry all my dies. You know, this will just cut straight lines. It won't cut the corners and stuff like that. So for the curved ones, you do need their dies. But for doing simple mosaic pages, you could just use your little paper trimmer. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.